So I want to talk specifically about this first Farfa video about Konami product drama. Then I want to watch this thing I was sent about this Caleb Hammer video in which a man is trying to run a Yu-Gi-Oh business. Then I want to do the Master Duel documentary by Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. All right, here we go.
There's been some developments in Yu-Gi-Oh product that has caused a really surreal situation.
Okay, so is he like dressing like Critical on purpose? Like is the goal here that he's going to look like Critical and then make a video called like the product situation is crazy?
To say the least. We've got deleted content creator sponsored YouTube videos.
Yeah, so in case you're unfamiliar, okay, let me give you a little bit of backstory on this. Every single European who opened found QCRs. And Konami America only gives boxes to 3 people. JRB Jobber, Cyberknight 2984, which first off, 2 titans of Yu-Gi tubing. Very happy that they're the only people they work with still. I think, does Jobber even still upload? Cyberknight, I know, came back. He had a real job for a while, and then he was like, I don't really want to do that, and I can't blame him. Okay, Cyberknight is, okay, I rescind my comments. Cyberknight is still opening, and he's actually getting not terrible views either. That's not bad. It goes back and forth. No one wants to see the fucking old school stuff. Ridiculous. And then Jobber. Okay, that didn't work. JRB Jobber, that is. I think only uploads for the Konami sponsor things, right? Yeah, look at this. Battles of Legend is here. Quarter Century Stampede is here. Maze of the Master is here. He has, well, like, I don't even know what to say. He has his own life outside of uploading YouTube videos. Like, holy shit. Maybe he's uploading shorts frequently? No, not really. Oh, man. Maximum bag getting efficiency. It's not. He does other stuff now. He like buys and sells, if I'm not mistaken. Ugh. And then Doug. So why is Doug one of the 3 people that they work with, despite the fact that Doug's channel is littered with real... listen, I love Doug. You cannot be uploading the things Doug does if you want to work with Konami. Like, look at this. You put MBT in a video, like, you should not be platforming MBT. That's why Konami needs to work with me, MBT, instead of Doug. But I think Doug levied to get Monster Mayhem because it has Fabled in it. Like, I think he literally was like, I know we only work together sometimes. This set has Fabled. I can sell it to consumers. And he did. This is far and away the most watched opening. Anyway.
Malfunctions and angry Twitter users, which is, you know, obvious. It must be a day that ends in Y. You don't want to miss this.
I better be on here because I am one of his supporters. I'm not seeing it.
There's like 4 major topics and aspects to this whole entire thing here, so let's go, I guess, in ascending order of insanity. First thing is the new set Battles of Legend. Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem is the brand new penultimate set to be released in the lead up to the WCQ, now in stores retailing for we don't do that here anymore. So
what did he say? The penultimate set? What's the ultimate set before the WCQ?
this is a new product that is going to be legal for the WCQ. The WCQs are the events in which
Duad? Duad's not legal for the WCQ, is it? No way.
you qualify for the World Championship, the absolute peak of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! It's extremely prestigious, and no other card game is as difficult to qualify for as Yu-Gi-Oh! So
Okay, that can't be right? No other card game is as difficult to qualify for Nats as Yu-Gi-Oh? No.
a pretty damn important event that needs to be done right. And this set is semi-relevant in the sense that it's got 3 somewhat decent decks. We've got brand new Punk, Orcus, Dragon Maid, as well as a bunch of relevant reprints in this set alone. And while these decks aren't going to break the neck of Malice, Mitsurugi, and Ryzeal, which are the current dominant forces in the TCG, compared to those of you who are more of the enjoyers of the real card game, the online digital format, where the current meta is, it's
Snake Eye?
still Snake Eye. It's It's
The
still
future is
incredibly
digital,
powerful, and
baby.
had
The
some
future
very
is digital.
relevant cards and very important reprints as well. Going all the way back to when I first started playing this game, I remember this set notoriously had the vaunted Soul Charge. Meta-breaking,
Yeah.
format warping card that until I started playing this game, I remember this set notoriously had the vaunted Soul Charge.
I know it was Dragons of Legend, but it's basically the same, says Farfa.
Meta-breaking, format warping card that until today players are still licking their wounds from. But I will say that personally,
I'm licking
as
something.
a massive, large enjoyer of the Dragon Maids, I just like the artwork. And even Punk and Orcust, this is a really cool set. And players have been playing testing with these decks online for potentially months at this point in the lead up to this event. Not only do we have the WCQs coming up, we have the National Championships. And there will definitely be a large number of players who have been preparing Orcust, Dragon Maid, and Punk, respectively, for these really big, important events. Potentially the biggest event they'll ever attend. And these are really cool decks. I mean, hypothetically, if I was, willing to leave my house and socialize with other individuals, I could see myself picking these up. Now, the first things that's got the Jimmies riled up is the reprints.
So, first and foremost, I think he's selling these cards a little short. I think all these decks should be on your radar if you're preparing for Nationals, not even because they're necessarily good, but just because people are going to be playing them. I think the Orcust and the Dragon Maid stuff is really likely to show up at Nats. However, yeah, it's not really competitive with the top three.
Are those things that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players rely on in order to have any semblance of accessibility into this game without going on the black market and putting some organs up there. Really, it's just what the Pharaoh would have wanted. Can we please be serious here? Ultra rare, Labyrinth Wall, vanilla.
What's the problem? Legitimately, what's the problem? What's the issue? This is a massively necessary reprint. Like, this card has literally never had an ultra rare printing. You want me to be upset about this? This card has literally never had an ultra rare printing. Never. What's the issue? You want me to be upset because this card got an ultra rare printing? The last time this card was printed was 2 entire years ago. A child born during the last reprint would now be old enough to subscribe to Farfa on twitch.tv/Farfa Yu-Gi-Oh!
So a quick breakdown of the stuff that is still missing a reprint now that we have the full set list of Battles of Legend. Catch Tiras.
Okay, this is actually embarrassing. Why are we so bad at reprinting the Cash Tiras? They should be giving out Cash Tiras in McDonald's meals. They should be giving out Cash Tiras as entry. You should get a Cash Tira when you get a Kasi ID. How is Fenrir's... Look at this. Look, I'm going to go to TCG Player. We'll check this out. Cash Tira Fenrir is still a $12 card. Oh, never mind. It's a $4 card. Oh, never mind. It's a $12 card. Fuck you, up, down, TCG Japanese rare. Oh, my God. And to buy one, you have to cross a picket line.
Bestials, Fiendsmith, Dominus Impulse Purge, and we haven't had important...
Okay, Fiendsmith, I know what you're saying. Joseph, actually, Fiendsmith just got reprinted in quarter-century penis mode. No, the Fiendsmith did, but again, to TCG Player. Look at this, great, $1.90 for Engraver, wonderful stuff, great stuff. All of the Link monsters are super cheap. Tracked is still money. It's a $70 card on Direct. You've got to be fucking with $50 for Tracked? Oh, pee in my poop. There's no way. How much is Lacrima? $35!
Just a spoon. Sky
Impulse and Purge. Impulse should be reprinted. Purge should be reprinted. Impulse is probably a little too early, but still, I mean, I'd appreciate it. Bestial's still money. Bestial's, again, should be common by now. No spoon in this! Where is spoon? Only a spoonful!
Labyrinth Wall and every Dragon Ruler. Again, Dragon Rulers! I don't think we need to sit here and rag on Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too expensive.
I'm gonna.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too expensive. Fix your game! Anyway, angry Twitter people is about as inevitable as Gage sitting upon the porcelain throne. At this point, it's like getting mad at the rain, so we don't need to emphasize this too much, but basically TLDR, reprint's kind of shitty other than the Primites, especially in the lead up to...
I mean, the Primites are nice. I appreciate the Primites. But I hate this thing. I hate that now the way Konami print structure works, instead of getting one good reprint set at the end of the year that has every single relevant card, we get 4 reprint sets, each of which has a quarter of the good relevant cards. And some of those cards aren't even in the reprint sets. They're in, like, fucking main sets and shit that they need to sell additional copies of. Oh, we reprinted fucking Baron at
the most
common.
important
You know,
events
they
of
wouldn't
the
do
year,
that now.
the
But
national championships and the world championship qualifiers in each respective continent. Now that the cold takes and the lukewarm dramas out of the side here, let's get into what is it gets insane. Now, a couple of days ago, by the time you watch this video, Konami sponsored content creators. Imagine
I love Doug's making the Doug face. Does Doug make other faces and thumbs? Holy shit! Actually, the most recent Master Saga, Doug makes the first new Doug face in 100 years.
I mean, Gage did come back from.
Wait, look at this. Look at this. So we go to Doug's videos. He's got. Actually, he's making. Like, this used to be the only Doug face. This one on 10, on 3, on 10. But now he's got several more faces. He's got this one. He's got this one. He's got this one. He's got this one. Okay, wait. Doug's branching out. Doug's branching out. He's got this one where he's kind of rubbing his eyes. That's a good one.
being a sponsored content creator. Like, what kind of person would it take to be sponsored and work along DZ, Rev Cards, a bunch of people?
He's making fun of the fact that he used to work with Konami until Konami severed ties with him. And I know he doesn't want me telling this story because it violates NDA, but I will anyway. I know the reason that Konami stopped working with him. It was because of his steadfast support for Israel. Konami is a pro-Palestinian company, and Farfa would not stop talking about October 7th.
Posted their early box openings and reveals of all of the reprints, or not
True,
reprints.
true.
showcased,
No
most
community note.
importantly, the new Starlight Rares. These Starlight Rares are much like your Royal Rares, made out of real cardboard that you pull 2 in every, like, case of 12 booster boxes or something.
What is that right? Hold up. Run that line back.
It's made out of real cardboard that...
Made out of real cardboard? Duh. Yeah.
You pull 2 in every, like, case of 12 booster boxes or something, which makes them quite lucrative and valuable monetarily. But there was a slight problem here. Everything is normal
Lucrative and valuable monetarily, as opposed to lucrative non-monetarily.
up until this point, right? Just average run-of-the-mill product. Now, every single European content creator was pulling 2 Starlight Rares per box.
This is crazy, by the way. If you go, I think House of Champs had a spreadsheet that I'm
ratio.
sure he's going to show. But it was like literally every single one pulled multiple Starlights in their single box. No NA1 did, but of course there were only 3.
Of the European boxes versus the North
Maybe they were
American
all
boxes,
lucky.
12,000%.
Maybe they
No
just
healthcare,
won 15
no
coin
Starlight
flips in a
Rares,
whirl,
just
in a
burger.
row.
Poor NA players can't catch a break. So the European
Tell
product
me about
boxes
it.
just have, like, infinitely more Starlight Rares compared to the North American ones. Sounds like a skill issue so far, right? I mean, just be European, Lamau. It
Yes!
turns out that this was a bug. This was a mistake. This was not intentional.
Yeah, it was something
Unfortunately,
enjoyable,
the
so of
release
course
date
it was
of Battle of
wrong.
Legend Monster Mayhem is being pushed back from most territories. There was a production problem that resulted in clumping of the Starlight Rares into a portion of the print run. This would have resulted in more Starlights for some, but fewer Starlights for others. Production will be redone so that the entire release is consistent, but this will take time. The late release date will affect Europe, Africa, Middle East, and Oceania, as well as Spanish and Portuguese cards for Latin America. English language cards for Latin America, Canada, and the United States are unaffected and will still have their originally announced release date. The revised street date for affected Tories will be announced as soon as available. We will do everything we can to expedite this. Well, I mean, at least there was communication. Yeah, that's...
We'll
that's
take
something.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
much to unpack here, because the more you dig deep into this...
So I got to be honest with you, like, this was shocking. And seeing this tweet on my dash, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, it's an enormous, enormous decision to be made. And you got to understand from Konami's perspective, hello, focus, thank you. From Konami's perspective, this is them voluntarily giving up a shitload of money. Like an unthinkable amount of money. Like, they are going to eat a fat loss on this because of commitments to distributors and commitments to LGSs, and they're not going to make any money off of Super Kingdom.
This, the crazier it gets.
There's no winning move from Konami here. Yeah, because what's going to happen if they keep it in their current position is that eventually the Starlights will run out if they really were clumped. And so no one will be able to pull Starlights. And I hate to be like this. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but this could, depending on the jurisdiction, get them into legal trouble. The back of their boxes says the rate at which you can expect to find these cards, and if those rates are wrong, that's a legal issue. Like, that's a problem. Like, they don't want to get fucking trapped in litigation about a set that has 0 playables in it.
Some of you probably don't know this, and it's like, why is there such a difference anyway? EU and NA use different factories or production styles, or...
It also says the rate isn't guaranteed, though. the enforceability of sentences like that is going to depend on where you're shipping. And again, I don't know anything about European gambling law, so I wouldn't purport to be an expert on it. But like, just putting anything could happen is not enough to get you out of hot water.
Or something like that, you'll notice the EU and NA cards physically look different in terms of their shading. The embossing on the font is slightly different. It's basically
Embossing? Embossing? I need him to fuck my embossy.
Embossing. Doing the cards for different regions. But clearly, the company or factory or the
-2, that's fair. I deserve that one.
Has had an oopsie. This isn't privileged information, but it says on the booster pack where these cards are printed.
Farfa knows this because he works with Konami and he talked to Mr. Konami and Mr. Konami told him.
Okay, don't ban me, Konami. I know you're watching. Now, I can only make assumptions and speculations, but I guess what must have happened here is rather than making 2 Starlight Rares per case, the factory, production company, whatever, interpreted as 2 Starlight Rares per box. Although in the tweet it did specifically say there was clumping. Now that's kind of sounds weird because usually when clumping happens, usually what occurs is you'll get like, you know, multiple Starlight Rares in a box, but different numbers. Like some will have 4, some will have 3 or something like that. Clumping just doesn't really have like a pattern to it. And you saw from the YouTube reveal videos, all the EU creators had specifically 2 per box.
This is like so strange to me too, because why would they go live with the videos that show them pulling at disparate rates? Like, surely these EU content creators, I mean, I don't know how Konami EU does things, but Konami NA, Doug probably got those cards like a month ago, because you have to go through so many revisions and so many like back and forth with Konami to make sure you're comporting to brand guidelines. Like, did they watch the EU players' openings? No one put 2 and 2 together? Wow, another really lucky EU player. All right, go ahead and upload it. Was it only after House of Champs did math that they were like, wait, there's a huge problem? Like, what the fuck? What's going on?
But that's just speculation. It's not really that important. Whatever the case is this has been delayed.
The digital media guy probably doesn't know. Postumistic, I think you probably have the most likely outcome, which is the individual responsible for combing through those videos to make sure they're comporting to brand guidelines is like an HR professional. It's not someone who's like, there shouldn't be 2 Starlights in a box. Like, there's no reason for them to know that.
Problem is that...
Yeah, it's a comms person, not a game person. Yeah.
It's been delayed to be released soon, TM. What?
My favorite part of Doug's video is when he pauses his vid to read a card and then it cuts back and he's like, yeah, this card's crazy in Punk. That's the thing I think Konami doesn't get is like, I'm not going to Doug's video because I think he's going to be an authority on if the new card is playable in Dragon Maid. I know he doesn't know shit about shit. I'm there because when he opens a pack with the Fabled in it, he's going to go, Fabled. And then he'll talk about the value of this card in Fabled. And he'll be right. Like, if you watch that video, it's more than anything else, it's a primer on how to play Fabled in a post-battles environment. Like, he's doing a good job for what he's doing. He's just not going to be good about talking about fucking Punk. Strimmer, read my message. I don't know what your message is. Oh, here, I can just check. I forgot I'm Strimmer. -2. That's your message. Your message was -2? You made me go to your profile to read -2? Fuck off. Unless you mean like dono message. You don't. You were like, read -2.
What is soon? Well, we know for a fact that it's not going to be legal for the upcoming national championships. Italian national championship is this weekend.
Chatter.
That was never going to be legal anyway for the set. But then following weekend, UK, German national championships, 2 of probably the biggest national championships in the European territories, are not going to have these cards. That's right. Players around Europe who've been playtesting for their respective national champions online with the new Orcus, Dragon Maid, and Punk cards are just not going to have the cards for their tournament. And so
that's ridiculous. Like, Italian players have been fucking stuffing these cards up their sleeves for the last 6 months, and now all of that testing is gone. I'm kidding, joke, comedy joke. I love all my Italian viewers and all my Italian players.
So all of that
parody,
effort,
Minecraft.
Potentially money that they had put away is going to just be wasted because they really wanted to play these decks at these events, and there's just... They can't now. Go buy some Fiendsmith cards, which didn't even get reprinted, so I mean, whatever. If you wanted to play...
Why doesn't Konami let you do openings? I don't get it.
And so if this gets even crazier, is that if you head on over to the European content creator YouTube channels like Revs, you'll probably notice something on the YouTube channel. Where video, the box openings are gone. I don't know if this falls under the potential of false advertising. Maybe that's why, from a legal perspective, they had to be really careful about this and just take it out back for all of these videos. But all of the content creators in Europe have had to delete their videos. 07, F's in the chat for our fallen ad revenue, and it goes even one step further than that. This isn't like some basic error that can be fixed with the flick of a switch, like the hacking situation in Master Duel a couple years ago, where they could just do some code geek stuff and sort everything out. They have to do all of that anyway with the code geek stuff in the factory, whatever the process is on the software.
Farfa actually is an engineer. Can you tell with an explanation like that?
But more important than that is the physical boxes. This is a physical card game. The cards have already most likely.
Oh, he's
been printed
geeking
at this
all
point.
right.
Perhaps it was just the
He's
test
geeking
run
and gooning.
that was bugged. Although it seems unlikely because it wouldn't have been delayed. It doesn't seem like this is just a basic error. And so it's very likely that there were thousands, tens of thousands of booster boxes just lying in warehouses, not going to be used.
Yeah.
Set alight, perhaps.
Yeah, very
Potentially
weird.
utilized as toilet paper. There is no real way to fix this other than to just reprint the boxes. We
They
go
could
again,
open
they
up all the
just
packs and
reprint
resort them.
the cards. The thousands upon thousands.
It's so funny. Alestrals is currently going through like a print dilemma, and I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. Like, that's so unprofessional. And then this happens from Konami, and I'm like, I think that God specifically hates Konami. I'm out there like the Westboro Baptist Church with the sign that says God hates Konami. God plants clumped starlights.
Potentially hundreds of thousands of individual cards just have to be reprinted and packaged again. Whoever's responsibility and onus this falls upon could be Konami just miscommunicating their intention with the ratios.
Monster lady, gay.
Whatever the case is, clearly something broke down in terms of communication, and now this is going to affect the players with this delay. Finally, the real ultimate crazy thing about all of this is that the European WCQ, the World Championship qualifier, the event that gets you to the World Championship, the grandest stage of them all, is maybe not going to have the set be legal for it, depending on how fast John can.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. There is no fucking way the set is going to be legal. I think there is a possibility that they make the US cards legal. Like, I think it's unlikely.
Can buckle up. And
they actually
walk in
just
to
said
get
that
all
it won't
of these
be.
boxes
Okay,
printed
good.
in time. It seems unlikely that they can get an entire.
That fucking
set
sucks
reprinted,
because
packaged,
Orcus
and
could do really well in
distributed
Europe where
the
no
space
one
of,
knows how
like,
to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
50 days or so. So I would assume that there's a very real chance European players just don't have this set legal. For
I'm
the
being
event.
mean
So
for no
the
reason today.
caveat,
There's
suppose
no
the
reason for me
quote-unquote
to be
good thing
mean
about
today.
This is that these weren't going to be game-breaking, meta-defining decks in the first place. But I mean, you never know, right? There's going to be a lot of disappointed players who aren't going to be able to play these decks, pet decks, favorite decks. I know that Orcus has a huge fan base and following in and of itself, and people are just not going to be able to play them. So the EU WCQ and the NA WCQ very likely, potentially could have completely different formats. It's like the Confederacy.
They kind of
all over
already
again.
do.
Boston Tea Party ass format for the NA. Americans.
Confederacy all over again. That wasn't America versus Europe. It was America versus America. What are you talking about? And we won. We did. Woohoo! Civil War victors.
Protested like, give us our damn Orcus card. Well, I suppose EU are the ones who don't have it.
Donnez-moi mon Orcus card, s'il vous plaît.
Wo ist dein Pa-
Donnez-moi les Orcustes, s'il vous plaît. J'ai besoin de Orcusi.
Spielen.
And I would do Italian for Dragon Maid, but I don't know any Italian.
Hey!
So, an absolutely wild situation.
Italian is just French, but you got to be like a little more swingy with it. Just be like, hey, qu'est-ce que c'est le punk?
And unironically, the product situation is crazy. Subscribe if you like this video. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you want to see more discussion style videos like this. Follow me on twitch.tv/Farfa, where I stream every day all kinds of nonsense and ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey, that's me, MBT Yu-Gi-Oh. Isn't this an unbelievable situation? I am just like floored at the fact that this exists. I hate to hand it to him, but the Konami product drama situation is actually crazy. There's nothing I can say about it but that. I will say, if nothing else, it does suck that it happened for this battle set, which is unquestionably a set that will have an impact on the meta. If it had happened with any of the surrounding sets, it would have been 1 trillion times worse. Right? It would have been a million times. Imagine if it was fucking Alliance Insight, Justice Hunters. I mean, Jesus Christ. Imagine Aelin. If this had happened with Aelin, like, you would see Joshua Schmidt applying for a visa to try and qualify through NA. Ugh. All right, next up. All right, this. So this was sent to me a couple of days ago because I was asking for stuff to watch on stream. Are you guys familiar with Caleb Hammer? So I find this guy totally repulsive. His whole business is he will have like a millennial on his show and he will help them budget, right? And he'll look at what they spend. He's like, "You're spending money on avocado toast?" And like the dumbest, most moronic millennial in the world who is acting up so that they get on the show is like, "I gotta have my avocado toast." And he's like, "Oh, you're $30,000. Oh." Far be it from me to criticize Caleb Hammer. I think a significant amount of the people on his show are not poor because of poor spending habits. Some of them are. I'm not gonna deny that. A significant amount of them are poor because they have been inundated by the American educational system into thinking that Jesus Christ wants them to franchise an Applebee's. That's one reason. And the second reason is that a lot of them, something really bad happened to them. And like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't be buying avocado toast. You got cancer 3 years ago and you owe $30 million. Well, what do you mean you have a $12,000 a month car payment? I got scammed at age 17. You know. But I did want to watch this one. Someone sent me this one because this guy rocks. I mean, first off, look at this guy. It's like, holy shit, he's perfect. This is a real specimen of an individual. It's like, I would say probably if you asked me to sit down in like Doug style in the Oblivion content creation screen, I could not come up with a better specimen than this guy. I like that he's got like a receding hairline. He's got almost no hair, but he's kept the hair on his head the same consistency as the hair on his chin strap. So it looks like he's wearing like a fleshy ski mask, like full of dog hair. It's awesome. I love the all over print Trump shirt. That's like so cool. I love that it's too small for him. So Trump's head gets kind of lost under his nipples. And I love the dog tag. The dog tag is the icing on the cake. This man has served our fucking nation. I swear. Why did people tell me I should watch this one? It will become apparent immediately.
It's my clothing, not the video game and food.
Okay, here. So he has tagged these by section. We are going to begin with a section called Beyond Childish, and I think that's probably the only section. We'll watch these two sections. This is like a 10-minute sequence.
And I feel like I've been a little bit of the anchor with financials, though.
You're holding them back?
Or no, like keeping things afloat.
Okay.
But
I like that. He's like, I'm the anchor. He's like, hold up. That's not how anchors work. And she's like, I don't think you know what the phrase an anchor means.
So how are you going to attach yourself to this in a marriage situation?
I mean, we've been trying.
We've been trying.
No, I know you've been
Yeah.
trying. How are you willing to do that?
He's running up against a concept many of you have heard about. It's called love.
Cutting back expenses.
I'm not asking what you're going to do. How are you okay with it? You try to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this person that's going to dramatically hold you back. And it seems like everything's a fucking joke to him as far as I can pick up so far.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you okay with that?
I mean, he came to the financial audit with a fucking Trump all over print on.
I mean,
Why is he mean to them? That's how this show works. Sorry, I don't know how to communicate this if you haven't seen the show before. It's like half him telling them how to get their finances in order and half like a stand-up roast. It's mostly crowd work.
I don't know. I'm just living life, and
Oh my.
Yeah,
You guys are.
Okay, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, by the way. Woman totally out of his league. As someone who married up, I can tell you, like, if you marry up, there's gotta be a reason that they married down. You gotta bring something to the table.
Going to be in debt through your 40s and 50s. Mortgage debt.
It's really, that's not what we want.
I love the response to that. That's just not what we want.
Not what you want, but listen to your language.
Yeah, I listen to it and it's like I can justify it in the moment, but if I'm just gonna destroy the future, I gotta really get out of the mindset of getting all that, not planning these shit.
So 5,000 came in.
Okay, so they're talking about his business. Okay. I want you to guess what his business is.
Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, income. What was spent last month?
Last month's
Household.
Okay.
You should because
Household.
we're gonna be a combined household. So what do we think?
We got
5,000.
this. We got
5,000
this.
came in for the household. So that's your normal month. What went out for the household? Let's have your guess first. Let's have your guess first.
I would probably guess. I'm gonna guess 7,000.
That's good for a business, right? 7 out, 5 in. That's good.
Okay, so we're okay with spending 2,000 more than we make. Great.
Great. I can't stand this guy. I want to be on his side, but I can't stand him.
I was gonna say 6,500.
Why are we okay with that?
Okay.
How do you say for Japan spending 1,500
Of course they want to go to Japan. It's Wakanda.
or 2,000 more than we make?
It was an
Where's
off
this
month.
cash flow, Japan? Huh?
It was an off month.
Yeah. Every month will be an
Every
off
off
month in
month.
different ways. Come on.
We can just open up a new credit card.
I love America, man. I love this fucking nation.
We can go to Japan.
No.
No,
worry
you
about it
said
later.
no.
yes. I mean,
Okay.
yes, you can. But if we're trying to get over 6 figures in debt, you said you were going to cash flow. That's what you just told me 5 minutes ago.
Yes, I
maybe.
did. Absolutely.
That's not cash flowing it, you dumb tit.
We're not opening
planning.
another card.
It's planning.
You better not.
No, I'm not. I'm not going. I'm, trying to
I'm not
find
gonna. I'm
ideas.
just saying we could.
Ideas to get this path going.
By the way, $8,130 was spent last month.
Just in last month.
Just in
Of,
last month.
of all the money going out.
All the money going on.
Eighth.
All the spending. What do you think your combined household financial score would be? I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. On go, I want you guys to give me your answer at the same time. 10 being the best finances, 0 being the worst finances for the combined household. 3, 2, 1.
1.
0.5.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least we're being realistic.
Okay. So, well, at least you guys seem to be reasonable there. Guys, if you want your Hammer financial score, check it out.
I know we're not watching
Test
that.
and you're a little actually be happy to have you in the studio.
Of course it's Austin, by the way. Why are all these fucking assholes in Austin?
Chase Inc. I mean, if we know we have like $85,000 to go through, I'm not really surprised that this is so dense. Okay. Chase Inc., what's going on? Are we both on this? Is this someone else's? Like, is this an individual card?
It's gonna be Priscilla's. here.
Priscilla. Okay, so what's going on with Chase Inc., Priscilla?
Wait, what's the balance?
I'll tell you, the balance is $5,910.12 with a minimum monthly payment of $147. What is going on?
I think that was the
It's a
business
substantial.
Yeah, was that the business?
I think
What
it was- yeah.
business do you have?
Okay. Here we go, baby. You ready?
Yu-Gi-Oh, dog.
used
Boom! Boom! Yeah, baby! That's right. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
That was the
It's a
business
substantial.
Yeah, was that the business?
I think
What
it was the-
business do you have?
Yu-Gi-Oh,
we
dog.
used to have a business.
Absolutely.
You both.
Yeah, it was,
Yes,
You,
we're both on.
we
I didn't have.
together.
I didn't
We
have the
tried
good,
this
I didn't,
together.
I didn't have the good credit. She had the good credit.
To anyone who's watching right here and is in what we call a relationship with a problematic credit score gap, I'm sorry, you gotta own your 510. You gotta own your 380. It's not gonna work. You can't. Oh well, they have the better credit, so
So we took
So
a
we
venture in
opened a
life.
credit card for it.
Absolutely, got to start off with
Yeah.
the business.
Sure. What about a small business loan? What about a personal loan? What about something that's not 30% interest? What are you
oh,
I thought that
talking
would be
about?
worse than doing a credit card.
Yeah, 12% interest loan
But a
is
credit
worse
card
than
grows.
grows.
Yeah, it's like they give you more money to use it.
that is so true. That's actually wait, that's literally true. He's talking about cashback? No, he's talking about your credit limit getting raised if you consistently use the card.
I'm not crazy. That's
I,
a thing.
I didn't
No,
know
I mean that I don't know what to tell you. True.
we
You-
could
are you
do a
talking
personal
about-
loan. Or like
Well, I don't know
for
if
a
you would have got.
business.
I don't know if you would have got approved for one. Do you mean your limit going up?
Yes.
This is so good, dude. I love it.
Absolutely.
But this is more ability for you to get more debt.
This guy's like suddenly figuring out everything. This is like someone who's taught like nothing about like finance or economics. They're like, wait, fuck, they're giving me more money to spend because they know I'll use it and get in debt. Wait a minute, it's not a reward. They're putting more cheese in the trap.
But it can be managed. If the business is going well and everything.
Yes, it can be,
Okay,
but if
so
you have
listen,
interest in minimal...
bar with me 1 second here, my man.
Bar
my
with you.
dog, my
Bar
brother.
with
so
me.
with you going into it, it was a great market with all the research going on. You got to know what.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was a great market with all the research going on. You know he's talking about watching Ruxin, right? He's got to be talking about watching Ruxin. It was a great market with all the research going on. First off, hate to be like this as someone who sort of tangentially, I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I talk a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't spend a ton of time thinking about the financial side, but I can tell you this, it was not a great market. It was not a great market with everything going on. What are you talking about? There hasn't been a great market for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards ever. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a stable investment if you're looking to turn a profit. They have this insane reprint policy, which, yes, is very good for players. It's terrible if you want your collection to retain any sense of value over the course of more than a week.
All the research going
Yeah, you
on...
think it's a poker fishing in the table? Not going to happen. No. You have to see what are the conditions of the card. What is the market? What is the season? Is it
He's talking about looking at a card and seeing if it's near mint. That's unreal.
fishing in the table? Not going to happen. No. You have to see what are the conditions of the card. What is the market? What is the season? Is it a core deck? What rarity is going out?
Okay, let's see if we can discover what this is.
You have to see what are the conditions of the
What are the conditions of the card? Okay, near mint. Lightly played.
card. What is the market? What is the
What's the market? Okay.
season? Is it
What's the seasoning? What's the season? Maybe he's talking about planning around gnats?
a core deck?
Is it a core deck? Okay.
What rarity is going out?
What rarity's going out?
What's the limited edition going?
What's the limited edition? Limited edition. That's the best one. What's the limited edition? When has a limited edition ever mattered in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, is he talking about if it's a first or not? For any Yu-Gi-Oh card printed in the last 20 years, not 20, the last, almost 20, I would say 10 years, the edition doesn't matter. 99% of cards only have first eds.
On the Starlight, all this research going out,
He did say Starlight. That's something.
inflowing, transportation of all the things, how much is postage going to cost, stamping, weight, all that. I did all the research of it.
No, who did the calculation for postage, stamping, costs, all that?
You did.
He didn't even do the research. She's like, no, bitch. I was the one watching Rutsin 34.
Okay,
Yes.
just want to make sure.
But I researched about the value of the cards and
Okay.
everything.
He's watching Market Watch videos. That's what he's talking about. He's watching M. Cole 40. That's what he's talking about. M. Cole, you got to get your boy. This is your boy.
Yep.
Yes.
You know his face looks like a circle of pubes, right?
Right. Holy.
So obviously this
gonna
business...
Man, that's a cheap shot, and also applies to this guy, but like, is true. I mean, unfortunately, is true.
This did not work
Nope,
out.
that's
You still
fighting
have
words.
debt on it. You still
He says there's fighting words. What, you're gonna walk out 20 minutes into this audit?
have debt on
It
it.
worked in the beginning.
It
Worked in the beginning, but it didn't. I don't care if it works in the beginning. I care if it works in the like throughout, continuing, as in.
Speaking of marrying up. Yeah, what's up? Oh, hold up. I have a noise gate on here, so they can't hear you. Hold up.
Hi, can they hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier I was walking Sadie, and these two little girls were riding their bikes. They saw Sadie, and they're like, Sadie's our favorite dog in the whole neighborhood. Ah,
Yeah, I'm listening.
hey, you're stop being creepy.
I'm listening.
Well, and then they were outside our house just now, and they're like, we come to the backyard to see Sadie. And I said, okay. They said, we're kind of thirsty. Can we have some water? I said, okay. I don't know their names. And then their parents are calling them, asking where they are, and they're like, we're at Sadie's house. And they're like, okay, well, show me who Sadie is. So, of course, they're just showing her a dog. And the parents are like, well, who's the kid? They're like, there is no kid. It's just Sadie. So...
This is actually not super surprising.
This happens constantly.
There's like maybe a half dozen kids in this neighborhood who like could give a shit about me or Jillian. But they're like, oh, is Sadie coming? Can we see Sadie real quick? Like there are children who will come to our house to play with our dog. Like, isn't that insane? They'll be like, is Sadie around? Is Sadie busy right now? It's like, no, she's tied up. Like, what could you possibly? Nah, she's got a lot of work today, dog. She's really in the trenches. You better come back tomorrow. And of course, she's always available, and she loves seeing all them. We'll be walking around the street, and there will be like some people on a golf cart, and she's like, I know them, and everyone has to stop for 30 minutes. It's crazy.
Oh, she jumped up in a golf cart today. We actually didn't know the people, but we know them now because
Well,
Sadie jumped up in the golf cart.
But she knows that golf carts occasionally have her friends in them, so she's like, I might as well go in this golf cart. There's like a 50-50. She
the
is.
thing is, so this all the kids randomly coming to our house started because there is like these kids up the street, and like we talked to their parents. And they love Sadie, and the kids started riding his bikes in our yard, and then like got his friends to ride his bikes in the yard, and then like they want to come play with Sadie, and sometimes they just play in my yard, and now it's turned into like the extended universe of his little friends. But the thing is, it's not like all of their parents know me. It's just the one kid's parent knows me, and I told the parent, oh, it's cool if if he shows up. But yeah, now I'm gonna have parents thinking I'm this creepy person. Be like, no, your kids just showed up and asked to see my dog and wanted water. It's totally chill.
Now, I will say, if I had been the one that the parents had run into, they'd be like, do not molest our children. Jillian, she gets away with a lot by being a pretty woman. She's like, I'm just helping your kids. I'm like, yeah, the kids wanted to see the dog. And I gave them some candy and some water. I said, drink up, kiddies.
Well, I didn't give them-
You could. I wouldn't.
I'm not going to. It's not like I offered them refreshments.
Yeah, they were like, we want water.
They're like,
I was
we're
like,
thirsty because we've been riding our bikes.
I guess, yeah, fuck it. What do I... That's so funny. I'm glad you're having a good day.
Oh, thank you. Just, yeah, it was like when they're FaceTime the parents, no, we're at Sadie's house. And they're like, but
Who the fuck is Sadie?
Like, where are the kids?
Who's...
And they're like, it's just
There's no
Sadie.
kid. It's just Sadie. It's my good friend Sadie. Ugh.
These I've met her before now because she.
Wow, that's crazy. Sadie is a local legend, I will say. They do like her.
Yeah, no, I was just like watering my plants and then talking to our neighbor across the street, petting her dog, and then the kids showed up and said, "Where's Sadie?"
All right, okay.
Sure,
I'll get back to
sure.
it.
I just thought this was.
It is funny. I appreciate you sharing it. She's looking good today, huh? And I like that dress.
And giving us money. What is the beginning? It worked the first month? What are we talking about? When did this end? Like, what is this?
Yo, before we get back into this, watching this is kind of painful, so I'm going to dip. I see new decks. Is that Materia Actor? No, we're going to probably do it.
Status of it now.
Okay,
So it's basically it's
Okay,
like
first off, let's real quick appreciate this this tag. Caleb's getting mansplained about Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
When did this end? Like, what is the status of it now?
Okay,
so it's basically it's like
it's dissolved.
yes.
Not the debt. No, the status of it. In the beginning of it, it was going good. A couple $500 of profit, $1,000 of profit a month of how the system. But we hit one flow of a bad batch and lost a big investment on that.
What does that mean? What do you think he's referring to? We got hit with a bad batch. He's totally opening the cards, right? He's opening the cards on camera, and he just didn't open anything of value. Is that what it is? One flow of a bad batch? That's got to be it.
It's basically a lottery every time we buy a case of them.
Boom! I was like, wait a minute. Well, the limited edition. What about the limited editions and the Starlights and the... He's buying cases. Boom! I was like, well, if he's buying and selling like high-end Edison shit, that's not going to work, but I could see it as like that is a scenario where you would, I guess, have to be able to, you know, wheel and deal effectively. He's just buying a case and opening it. Buying a case and opening it.
Oh, really? It's fucking like we're like loot crating this shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you pull from
Oh, this
the
is
good-
so
He's talking about pulling them!
fucking stupid. And you're
All right, let me break it down for you. There's only a few guys that can open a case and make money on it. Here's who they are. Ruxin34. Why? Every time he opens a significant amount of Yu-Gi-Oh product, he gets an additional X $1,000 from YouTube ad revenue. 2, individuals like Tier 0 Games who have access to the set in such quantities that they can effectively set the price for what they are going to be sold at and can therefore offset how much they have to pay because of that. That's it.
hoping to get cards where within the batch overall it's more valued than
Absolutely.
oh
Yeah.
He's literally just doing, he's just ripping packs. He's like, I'm going to plus off these packs. If anyone is thinking of anything similar, one, it will not work. There is no way to make this work without a total upending of the financial instruments of Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to either have a supplemental form of income you're also generating off of opening those packs. Maybe you're selling bulk to some sort of gremlin, or it's just not going to work. And second, do not make a business whose business is you opening packs.
that was your business?
Yeah, and then we're gonna
Your
build a
business
store.
was lottery cards.
He's right. Yeah, that is correct.
So
Your business was lottery.
I was tired of the
Yeah.
day-to-day job.
Yeah.
I was just tired of the fucking day-to-day, man. I was tired of the day-to-day job, so I decided, why don't I run a lottery?
No shit. So why don't you do something that provides value then?
Wait,
I
it,
mean-
it could provide value.
Total miscommunication here. Why don't you do something that provides value to the world? And he hears, well, you could have gone positive.
Open a starter store.
Sounds
Kids
like you have a
love
lot
that.
of data on this card still, so it didn't really work. And 1 month set you guys back and led to the inevitable collapse. If 1 month led to the collapse, this was not a business that was.
He literally did this. Okay, I'll click this. I'm stupid.
Who can make the most money in an investment account?
I can't trust this stock market. It's rigged.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
going to how the people make their money.
Okay.
Scratchers.
It's literally what he did.
So I went to 8 different liquor stores and I bought. I would wake up early going, oh, is that 1,000? Oh, it's only 10. There is no kids.
Oh, he lost it all. God damn.
was going to be successful.
Doesn't mean it can't be successful in the future.
Well, it can't because it's been dissolved.
So far, no success.
We were hoping to grow it.
Pensky, thank you for the 50-month streak. I'm one of the most winningest members of the Give Joseph Money Challenge. This is what your Chase Bank account looks like. It looks like you gave $6,000 to an MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! I wanted him to say my name all excited.
And it just
Oh, you were hoping.
It never
Oh, good
worked
guys,
out.
we were hoping.
You gotta have hope in life. What else is there? You have to.
You guys got to get off TikTok. I'm sorry. I hate to be like old man yelling at cloud. You have to get off the financial guru TikToks that are like, no one wants to do the 9 to 5. It's time to free yourself. You're losing money? Just hope, because you got to have hope. What else do you have? It's so good. They like have these pre-prepared blocks for reality. Someone's like, it's not making money, but it will. You know, Bill Gates didn't make any money until last year.
Of course you do, but it's not hope alone. It's with a plan, with a strategy.
My family can't live in good intentions, Marge.
The hope is to the goals, but the hope isn't the only thing that gets you to goals. You have to have step-by-step plan. And it's always going to change as it moves, as you go along to get to that goal.
I want it to be like you. Your own boss, your own hours.
And I thought I would get there, by opening packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, I get your intentions.
Everything you could focus that, manage that.
Why
Focus on opening Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
didn't you start again a business that provides value then?
People like cards. People
Do like cards, but you were just hoping to game the market. You were day trading Pokemon.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't insult
Okay,
me
whatever.
like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
You were day trading Pokemon. Actually, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Isn't this the worst game for this strategy? I feel like Pokemon is a lot better, right? Like if it was, how do you day trading Yu-Gi-Oh?
Or whatever.
Well, I don't know. That's not my thing.
I mean, like, I didn't know much about
Okay.
it, but I was willing to invest with them and stuff. And
Yeah, that's
give it a
why.
try,
You got
like,
fucking coaxed into this?
well, okay, so
Wait, we went into debt for this. We didn't even cash flow it. Because if you cash flow the cards and you had a down month, oopsie, oh well. You went into
Well-
fucking debt? How did we gain 6,000 hours of debt in Yu-Gi-Oh?
and
In Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's a good question. The cards are generally cheap. We only purchased Kashtira Fenrir. Dude, this is the guy who fell for the TCG player Japanese rare thing, right? He's like, whoa, this Kashtira Fenrir is only at $10.
we used our own money too.
Guys, this is pretty exciting. We'll zoom in. Let's talk about this for a second. Okay. So I do a little bit of negotiating here and there, when we're having
this an
sponsorships
ad?
and stuff like that. And I've been working with Moomba for a while.
It is. Okay.
Yo, let's do this thing.
Gotta look for the rare cards and selling that and doing that.
Why the debt? How'd we
You got to look for the rare cards. Like, literally, what could he be talking about? Like, what's the most recent set that came out in Yu-Gi-Oh? It's, oh my god, this site hasn't been updated in forever. Why is that landing page even still live? Aelin. All right, what's the rare card in Alliance Insight? Right? I don't know. QCR DMG the MA. That's 162. If you want to be consistently putting up a profit, like, you got to be finding like a lot of these QCRs. Like, think about it this way. The QCR rate is like per case. So in a box, you are not going to get a QCR. It's hardly guaranteed. So what's your best pull after the QCRs? A $12 March Hare on a $100 box? Like, are you kidding me? Oh, I fell for the Japanese rare. A $32 March Hare on a $100 box? That's like insane, right? That's your literal best get. Your next best non-QCR is a $15 Regenesis. After those two, you're in $10 territory on a Regenesis Archfiend. By the way, Archfiend went way down. Holy shit. I did not realize that was so cheap now. Oh my god. That's unbelievable. We're not even out of the secrets, and these cards are $1. Like, you'll never make money doing this. Do not buy sealed product. This got Alex kicked out of the Konami Creator Program. Do not buy sealed product under any circumstances.
do the debt? Why wasn't it cash flowed with the money you guys had? You guys don't not make money. You make $60,000 a year combined net.
We honestly, the truth is, we just got tired of the business, tired of doing it.
There's no way. He was like, I want to be my own boss, make my own hours, and make a living opening cardboard. But then I got bored. Me when I have to go $6,000 in debt because I'm bored.
And we're like, let's just abandon it. It wasn't worth it anymore.
We tried to cash flow. We put like thousands of dollars into the business trying to buy
business.
Well,
okay.
Lottery.
we
It
were-
is a fucking lottery.
We were trying.
Lottery. How you cannot allow this man to convince you into this kind of shit. Get a fucking
Brainwasher.
He's like, listen, dog, don't let him convince you this is a valid business. And he's like, don't brainwash her. I'm in the middle of brainwashing her.
She's but she went along with it because she loves you and she wanted to support
Well,
you.
I love her too, and we had conversation multiple weeks, multiple. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I've always
It wasn't
wanted
just
to
like
try
one day.
business.
Oh, hey, let's do
so
this thing.
Awesome.
No, all I'm saying is you really wanted to do it, and you convinced her because she wanted to support you. And don't go along with that. Call him out as bullshit. I mean, you're. How much you've spent on this and into this business in general?
Place your bets now. I'm gonna say 20K.
we probably put about like $7,000 into it.
Oh,
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
fucking. How long did it last?
About a year. A year, right?
Less than a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
If I literally put that money into just like an
I mean, you don't have to sell them on. Putting the money in a savings account would have been more profitable. Not touching it would have been more profitable. They lost the 7 and an additional 6. They're down 13. You know.
empty Moomoo account, it's the investing app I use, and then you get another like a 16% return like instantly if you want.
Fucking ad for his stupid ass. If you put it into my scam instead of your scam.
Crazy, but instead we put it into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and now we have a $5,000 debt. To fucking $5,000 debt is all we have left of it.
I didn't have the heart of the cards. What can I say?
It's a.
You think he thought that one up in the car on the ride over? You think he was like, I got a fucking banger line I'm gonna drop when he talks about how I drove our family into debt over cracking packs because I watched too many Ruxin 34 reels. I got a fucking banger brewing.
Accruing almost $90 in interest on a monthly basis.
But it's not going to be there forever.
Yeah, we could always kill ourselves. What do you mean it's not gonna be there forever?
Wow, says who? I mean,
Me, I just said it. Hello.
Yeah, what evidence do we have to suggest that? Because I see only minimum payments, which you're right, it wouldn't be there forever. It'd probably be paid off in like 30 years or something.
30 years?
Man, you gotta explain to this guy what a minimum payment is too. That's crazy. Minimum payment is $146, $88 interest. You're paying $60 down on the principal for a $6,000 amount of debt. 100 months? I guess it will be more like 10 years.
I don't have the exact...
Not even 10 years it would take with a minimum.
Oh wait, he actually knows the number. He's just like, we'll have it solved in 10 years.
30
I mean,
No? Am I in the
we'll
wrong?
pay more. We'll pay it sooner.
Am I in the wrong?
On what?
So like, okay, let's say we give the minimum payments. Would it take like 10 years, 7 years?
I don't have the math in front of me.
An absurd amount of time is what you're telling me.
Oh, an absurd
10 years is an absurd amount of time to pay off a $6,000 debt. Am I crazy? That's unbelievable.
amount of time, absolutely. Oh, you're embarrassing her, you're embarrassing me. This is insane. How are you not embarrassed?
You're talking about
so
he showed up in a fucking Trump shooting shirt. This guy has moved far beyond embarrassed.
this conversation's miserable.
If you don't,
Are you guys not miserable? I am miserable.
No, I'm having a good time. It's understanding.
I think you're the only one. The audience probably isn't having a good time either.
Awesome. Am I wrong, man? Oh, man. Imagine wearing that shirt and it's not the craziest thing about your whole vibe. Oh, man. Nothing like settling for a guy who chased you down like a rabid dog for 3 years. I just like... This has to be scripted. For my benefit, I am choosing to believe that this is scripted. This is like when Gordon Ramsay visits a restaurant that you like and you find out there's like dead mice in the food and you go, it's got to be scripted. I have to believe in my heart of hearts that it is scripted. Thank you very much, Caleb Hammer, for talking Yu-Gi-Oh. Get me on here, buddy. I'll talk through my finances. We got a Classic Freaks update. Oh my god. Representative Mike Collins on the horse electrolyte. It's the same brand too. Holy shit. All right, last one. Let's do a hit on 5. All right, so if you're unfamiliar, this is the
WCS was
documentary about Quantal, Emre, and Josh's win.
too much of emotion to describe with mere words.
Definitely an amazing moment that I don't know if I'll ever experience something like that again. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm 29 years old. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh!
He's 29.
Player and content creator. My first interaction with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was obviously watching it when I was a kid in school, and eventually we found out there's real cards and we started playing, and that's how it all began. I
do love that. My first, the first thing I ever did with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards was watching the anime, and then I found out that they were real. I just assumed that they made them up for the anime.
Started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively when I found out.
I'm making fun of that. That's exactly what happened to me too. I was like, right. There's no real cards though.
There was local tournaments in my area. At that point, I was only 10, 11 years old, so I didn't take it that seriously.
He's saying that, but he was like topping YCSs at like 16. Like he was like, I didn't take it that seriously for another 2 years.
And then I later on, when I was older, I started going to YCSs when they started doing them in Europe. I went to the very first one, and ever since then, I've been playing nonstop.
I have a long history of Josh.
What the fuck? We haven't even heard from Emre yet. Why are we hearing from Lampy? Not that I dislike Lampy. I like Lampy.
Because we both share the love of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game.
And we're both European.
Rediscovered
Well, this jacket goes fucking hard. Wait a minute. Is this jacket available? Holy shit.
Josh as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel player when he decided to go and grind for the World Championship for the first time.
That's when it all ended for me and Farfa. No longer had a shot at the king after he did that stream. That stream was probably the most fun I've ever had watching Yu-Gi-Oh! That's fucked up, right? Because I wasn't watching it continuously. It was like I'd tune in every like 4 or 5 hours. That was like a watershed stream. Wow. Looking back, it was just unthinkable. I can't believe he did that. Man. I remember it was during a YCS weekend too. It was during YCS Philly, wasn't it? Oh my God. And that's all anyone, like that, YCS Philly was such an ass tier event. And then all anyone could talk about is the ban list because it happened there. And then all anyone could talk about afterwards was Josh. They were like, everyone was like on their phones and we would ask each other between rounds. We're like, where is he? Is he close? And he was.
A major factor that makes Master Duel attractive to me is that you can just play it from the comfort of your own home, and basically the fact that I can stream it as well to my audience and stuff like that is great for that. Taking part in the Worlds qualifier as soon as they announced it, I was super hyped about the additional opportunity to qualify for the World Championship, because of course I've been trying to do it in the TCG for a long time, and a second chance basically was just something I was always gonna take.
Like I have 57.
A lot of people were really interested just in high-level focused gameplay, so the stream turned out to be a huge success.
I mean, I will say I know there were probably some people who were interested in the stream for high-level focused gameplay reasons. For me, it was because I would watch it for the same reason I would watch, like, Mr. Beast ask a man to live in complete darkness for a year.
And I just thought that was amazing because I was just try-harding basically the tournament and just had the stream running on the side, not really doing much about it, but people really liked it. It
was a totally silent stream too.
Pretty tiring, but also very rewarding, of course, because it felt like something I've worked towards the entire weekend and maybe even the preparation time before that.
One of these days I'll do one of these again.
At the time, I think it didn't
the one I
quite
did with
settle
Kevin
in
and I wish was a
because
ton of fun.
I was very exhausted from the entire weekend, but then I went to bed, and when I woke up, I suddenly realized that it worked out, and I was very, very happy about it. Yeah.
I am Jack Roy Steekkamer. Line handle is Quantal. I started to play at first very casually.
Baby Quantal. This is how old Quantal was when he was doing clip channels.
Enjoying the game, but I'd never really had.
Also, why is MBT looking so good? Dude looks like he lost 10 pounds. Thank you. I actually had my my checkup last week, and I have lost 15 pounds.
Had the success previously, but once Challenger
From
Cups started
November
up,
of 2024.
in Europe, I started to play almost every single one of them. And at that point, I really felt I had a chance in being more than just a casual, but
I'm trying to
also
get
being
into
competitive
lifting now.
and
That's the
doing
next
well
thing.
at what seems to be also
I'm trying to get into
WCS,
Ozempic
which
now.
really is special. The qualification process was quite special. Full on 72 hours was
What'd you do to
really
lose the weight?
a roller
Counted
coaster
calories.
Of emotions. There's a lot of ups and downs, certain points where you play too much because you're too tired.
And
it's
Swole helped
really-
me with macros
It
too.
really gets the most out of you.
Quantel was a friend of mine that I've already known from the TCG, and I also, of course, saw him as one of my greatest rivals during the qualification period because he was so close to me. But that also showed me that he was really good at Master Duel. And because I knew him already, I was like, it only makes sense for me if I really want to take the World Championship seriously. I wanted the best people on my team, so I asked Quantel if he wanted to join because I also felt like he deserved it.
I do want to be clear. I know that Quantel deserved to go to the World Championship, and huge congrats to him, not only for going, but for winning. But I, at the time, was like, he picked Quantel? Why didn't he pick, like, a pro? I don't know if anyone else had this reaction. Because at the time when Quantel was picked for this team, he didn't have any tops whatsoever. He was only an online player. And I was like, that's so strange. Like, he'd done really good in online tournaments, but I was like, that's so strange. I mean, but then, you know, it became clear that he was really fucking good at Master Duel. Like, insanely good. Why didn't he ask you? Okay, that is not what I'm talking about. I was never in consideration. Don't worry. Better than you? Yes, Quantel's a world champion, dog. He has a good eye for players. That's what really struck me, was like, wow. He really, like, he got in on the ground floor of Quantel.
I felt just relieved that after all that work, it just worked out and I had achieved a dream of mine.
I'm Emre Kızılateş. I'm 26 years old and I live...
Emre is not 26. Dude, I don't want to hear that.
In Frankfurt, Germany. During the early 2000s, my brother's 8 years older than I am. Yu-Gi-Oh was really popular in pop culture. And I remember playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation 1 back then. I really enjoyed that game.
So Emre, on the other hand, is some...
There's no way he's like, my origin story? I beat Forbidden Memories. So at that point, you know, Worlds was pretty simple.
One I've known for even longer. I've known him basically since he was like this big, basically. And I knew that one of his biggest dreams was going to the World Championships. And I was really happy to give him that opportunity.
We were really...
They're all like personal friends. I never knew that.
Good friends back then, like we had the same friend group. And when I started playing again in 2022, he was like my travel buddy, basically.
So
that's sweet.
At the time, I personally did not know Emre. My first time actually meeting Emre was in a Discord.
So for Emre in particular, just thinking about how he brings that positive attitude, you know, the fact that he's always upbeat. We have countless footage countless clips rather, of him just smiling, super happy.
The first connection I have to Emre as a player is, of course, with him and his most favorite Fluanderie strategy. He has been
the GOAT. The actual Fluanderie's GOAT.
Known for that in the TCG, and then also transitioned that love for the Fluanderies deck into Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
We
shows him playing Tenpai. Come on.
First listed every deck we believed was playable for the tournament. It was also our first time dealing with the deck restrictions and deck regulations.
This, unfortunately, is really cool. I wish there were more opportunities to do something like this, but if I recall, the way that decks work at Master Duel Worlds is you select, I think, 3 cards total that you're all allowed to play, and then you can't cross over cards outside of that.
Which were a fun challenge.
I liked it a lot. I think it's really cool.
Only being able to share 3 cards among the decks.
The format for the World Championship was very special, and that's why
I think it's so important to have both that rule and closed lists. I think closed lists is so important for that rule to mean anything.
We prepared for it a lot, and we knew we were going to bring the tier limit strategy because that was the best deck at the time, which was also Wantel's best deck, and he was very, very good with it, so that was why we gave that deck to him. And then we had to still find 5 other decks. We decided, since you don't necessarily have to play both of the decks, that we made it our biggest priority to find one really good deck for each player, so 3 really good decks, and then have secondary decks that complement that deck.
Our team selection at the time was me playing Tierlament and backup as Sky Striker, Josh with Natuya Runic and Dragon Link.
Josh's 2 decks to this day, if you look at his 2 decks, they are fucking works of art. They are, God, they're so nice.
And Emre with Exorcister and Labyrinth.
There we also came up with the Naturia Runic deck. He wanted to try the deck out for like a game, just to see how it feels. And I
Classic Josh, by the way. He was like, I have a homebrew. Let's just see how it feels. Oops, I broke the format.
I was playing Sprite and Labyrinth at that time, and he just obliterated me like the entire day, and then we realized, okay, that deck is crazy. I really wanted to bring my Flu deck to Worlds because it's my favorite deck, and I feel really comfortable playing that deck. Josh was not so keen on it, so he told me to come to his place. If I win 1 game in 2 hours, he'll let me play the deck. I didn't win a single game.
So,
no!
In terms of expectations, of course, you do have to contextualize it with the fact that they were 2nd seed heading into that World Championship behind Shape Snatch.
Surprisingly, I wasn't quite stressed in the lead up towards WCS. I honestly felt that whatever happens, happens. I felt that most of us were quite calm.
Okay, am I crazy? This is coming out a year too late, right?
We started well into the tournament, and that was very important, I think, because the first round was by far the most nerve-wracking round, because you just sit down and this is where it starts. And all the in-game effects were also very special for the World Championship, so it was something I don't think anyone was prepared for it, how intense it felt when you have the headset on and everything. But we won our first 2 rounds, which was really important, because after those we were already guaranteed to make it through the group stages. So we had a lot of pressure fallen off of us for the 3rd round of the group stage.
So the 3rd match really at that point didn't matter too much.
Okay, not to get too in my feelings about editing, but I love this shit when they have 2 camera angles and all they do is they just flip between them.
I decided to Josh
Tricky
told
Tony
me to play
type
Sky
shit.
Striker just to test the matchup.
I love how
Exorcister,
Quantel's hair is illuminated too. See that J cut?
Matchup into Exorcister.
But he's not talking yet. How is this happening?
Which gave us a good.
What the heck? His mouth was closed.
Good guidance of how Striker was into the Exorcister matchup.
In the top cut, I really started to shine. I won more games than I lost.
Crush Cards edited this? I'm pretty sure.
Played against the Japanese team. And I remember in the very last set, we all 3 lost the coin toss. Like, I was looking to the left, I saw Quantel lose, I saw Josh lose, I look at my monitor, I lose. I look at my opening hand, I drew triple Ash Blossom, which is a good card, but you don't want to draw it as a 3-off. And I somehow still ended up winning that game.
Right before the final, we were all very, very nervous, especially the opening ceremony. We heard the music and everything, and that really, everyone had chills waiting for the finals, and it was very, very special. Emre, of course, wandering around the venue because he couldn't stand still because he was so nervous. Jack and myself, a little bit more calm and collected, but still hearts racing and everything. We just tried to stay calm as much as possible. Looking back at it now, I don't really know how we managed to even pull that off and stay there and just play the finals.
The final was really interesting. So Team 7 has 3 really, really great players.
Okay, so I know this is like the Snipe Hunters video. These 3 are like, they're so fucking good at Master Duel. Like, if you, gun to my head, asked me to pick which of these 3 players was the worst at Master Duel, Like, I think the answer might be Jesse, legitimately. Like, holy fuck.
I think by today, everyone knows them. They are like probably the best opponent that we can get. I was, in my head, I had the feeling if I win the very first game against Jesse that we're going to win the final.
And there we go. Game 1. Advantage to Snipe Hunters and advantage.
We were able to solidify a 3-3 to the final set.
The very last game of that match was Quantal. If he wins,
this match, man,
we're going to win the World Championship. As soon as he started to attack for a game, I had like goosebumps on my entire body, and I was like, yeah, we've just done it. Which, of course, we believe in it, but we also didn't believe in it because it was so surreal to be the world champion.
Two MCS winners and Ryan. I think in this final there were 5 MCS winners.
The WCS title for me, when going into the tournament, was more of a dream than anything else. Too much of emotion to describe with mere words.
You feel numb.
Wait, we already saw that clip.
For a moment because it takes a while to settle in, right? You just like you stand up and we hug each other and everything, but it doesn't feel real yet because it takes a while to realize. And we walk up to lift the trophy and everything, and it's just a very, very surreal moment.
God, I fucking miss Master Duel competitive play so badly.
Now I have a hard time describing.
No Chalice Slime winners? Quantal was a Chalice Slime winner also. I think Raymond Dye also won a Chalice Slime.
Exact feelings, but definitely an amazing moment that I don't know if I'll ever experience.
And I think Jesse won a Chalice Slime. No. It might be those two at least.
Experience something like that again.
I very much closely followed the World Championship in 2023, and I stayed up all night basically watching it because I was super, super excited for it. I was like,
how lucky are we in the TCG, by the way, to have these two teams? How incredible is it that... I mean, it's so hard to get excited for Paper Worlds in the same way. Like, Paper Worlds matters, and you care about the individuals relative to their countries, but it's not like you get like this type of shit. Like the same 3 guys coming back for the same finals. Fuck!
Honestly, so incredibly happy when they did do it.
Here we go.
After
and this is when they beat us.
Winning WCS 23, it was quite a calming effect, where rather than playing less Yu-Gi-Oh, I ended up playing more Yu-Gi-Oh than ever.
The motivation was clear. We wanted to win back-to-back. That was like our goal.
A couple months before the World Championship was
but they made one mistake. They messed with Americans.
Coming up, we just started actively playing. I mean, I think most of us were actively playing the entire time anyways because we just like to play the game, so that wasn't really the issue, but we started more concentrated preparation.
I personally was testing every single
Americans? Yeah, North Americans.
Included Promethean Princess, the Star of Flames, because a lot of the fire decks were individually all shared a lot of important key pieces, such as Snake Eye Engine.
We looked at the meta.
Year of Fire totally fucked up this 3v3. And by fucked up, I mean made it interesting at all.
Which I think was pretty much dominated by Fire Kings. So we knew, okay,
you had to remember to say the full card name. Gun to my head, I could not tell it to you. Promethean Princess, the... Primordial Flame, is that it? Bestower of Flame, fuck me.
Duel was also a threat, but we didn't like
I like
Duel
mine better.
that much because it played really weak into Max C, which was a 3 back then. We knew, okay, one of us will play Fire King. It ended up being Josh. Quantal ended up really liking Key Elements again, which was a strategy that he felt the most comfortable. And I picked Centurion as my first deck, which was really odd. I think no one else played it.
And at near the end, we had really solidified that Fire King Snake Eye was by far the most settled in the metagame in order to beat the vast majority of...
You know, keep in mind this was a year ago. So these days, you know, normal summon Snake Eye Ash is no longer any good.
Decks.
I think we had a good chance to win it going into it, but I think so did all the other teams. Of course, they increased the number of teams this year, so it was naturally going to be a little bit harder, and I don't think there was any team that we looked at and we were like, yeah, those are going to be easy to play against. I think everyone was a hard opponent.
They came in as the favorite simply because, you know, they'd won
I love
the
his hair,
prior
man.
year. and we had a lot of expectations for them based on
whose idea
the
was it to
highs
have them
that
on
they've
this
reached
like
before and the fact that
totally
they've shown that
blue
they can
black
compete
background and
and
then
be
wearing
the
like
best
blue
team in the
black
world?
with black hair?
2024 Worlds definitely went quite different on day one, especially for me, because I had not the greatest day one.
So we started off with a rough situation where we lost round one. Somehow we played best when under pressure.
Emre was performing very well on the first day.
He went
was
undefeated, right?
Single-handedly beating
Played out
almost
of his
all of his
fucking mind.
opponents.
Winning that many games felt really good. I felt like, yeah, just bring me the next opponent, I'll just against them as well. When I'm losing, my teammates are winning. When they're losing, I'm winning, and that's what makes a great team. Like, we need to complement each other, as I said.
Then into top four, we played a familiar opponent with Tasku's team.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of people who are out of their fucking mind at Master Duel, Tasku is like legitimately the best Master Duel player on the planet, right?
Previously played in the previous top four of the previous WCS.
It was Quantal and my turn to pay him back for it, and we ended up winning the semifinals as well.
Our mental state before the
Him or
final
Ryan,
compared to last year was completely different. We were more chill.
I think the two World Championships we had so far for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel lift off of the rivalry between Team 7 and Team Snipe Hunters. It's like a whole new
Here we
story
go, baby.
now.
But at the end of the day, Joshua Schmidt. Has Joshua won an MCS? Joshua Schmidt has never won an MCS.
Part of the game. It is part of why the World Championship was so exciting for both of these years.
I think there has always been a sort of rivalry since the first WCS final. We knew that Team 7
They're American
wanted,
only. They're American only. That doesn't make sense because
to win the WCS as much as we do. When we met for the second time, we really knew that they were
honestly, I don't know why they picked Quantal for their team. They should have gotten Steve Cox.
coming back with a hunger to win that event.
The finals didn't go well for us this year. Looking back at it, I don't think there was too much we could have done.
Yeah, unfortunately, the final, while it did do the stuff we wanted as Americans, it wasn't like super competitive. It felt a little decided.
As soon as the match finished, I felt like I was already okay with it. Of course, I felt disappointment, but I also saw their reaction and I saw how much it meant to them. And they are also people that
He's
I've
already
become
smiling in that
friends with
picture.
over the
He's
years.
like
So
grinning
I
watching
think
them
the
win.
overwhelming feeling for me
Ugh,
is
what a nice guy.
it's okay. We had it last year. I think it's okay if they have their moment this year. And I felt happy for them, and it was okay ultimately.
After we lost the
2025, Joseph Rothschild wins Worlds.
final, we knew that we were not automatically qualified because only the winner gets qualified. So we knew we had to go through all of the process of qualifying again.
I think Team Snipe Hunters always will have a chance as they have very, very good individual players. And I know that all three of them are going to try to make it through the regional qualifiers for their team.
The overall decision was, yes, we're going to all try to qualify again. And if one of us makes it, we're going to invite the other two just to bring Team Snipe Hunters back. And that's what's going to happen if one of us makes it, yeah.
I think from
They got one more, baby.
the very first moment, we knew that we will go together back.
Are you going to bribe the NA winner to pick you? No, bribing the winner to pick me, I can't think of that. I mean, you would have to be a real low down son of a bitch to do that.
As a team, I think it would feel wrong to play with other people in that tournament because we've been there together, we won it together. That's everything you could ask for. It wouldn't have mattered if we would have lost twice in the final or won twice. At the end, you want to play the World Championship, and
that's true.
I think that through the two finals, we had become very close friends all together.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting because we really wanna go back.
Worlds hasn't been in Europe for a while, so it's incredibly exciting to see that it's now coming back to Europe and to Paris, France specifically, because that's of course a beautiful location.
Paris is so nice. Man, you know that shit where it's like Asian tourists go to Paris and then they cry because people use the garbage cans or whatever? Every time I've been to Paris, I'm like, this is what an incredible city. What a fucking incredible city.
With the home turf advantage, of course, it's even easier. No jet lag, no nothing. Therefore, the European teams, and there are some good ones already qualified, I think they are going to have a good time, maybe taking the title once more.
I hope.
It's hard for me to even express how much Yu-Gi-Oh has done for me overall because I've been playing this game forever at this point.
It is because you have never been to a walkable city. True.
And a lot of my longest friends and closest friends are from this game. A lot of my travel
Paris
experiences
is ass compared to
and
London.
so
I
many
like
other
London
things,
too, but I
the
like
competitive
Paris more.
success I found, as well as the career I now have. So it's basically almost everything that this game has brought
Philly
to me.
better. Philly's also nice. I like Philly as well. Neither compare to the greatest city on earth, Boston, Massachusetts, baby. Man, what a nice documentary. Man, honestly, last 2 years World Champions could not have happened to nicer people. It's so, man, it is so good that the top players in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel are who they are.
Because we hit on 5.
Ha ha ha. And then they lost on 6, right? That's the Hear from Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, me too. Hope the NA page does something similar for Team 7. Don't hold your breath. I hope that we wake up in a land of sunshine and rainbows.